The storyteller, Ifeadi Odenigbo, is here. Ifeadi, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. Peace to you too. So we got the Green Bay Packers this week, but before we get there, we just had a much needed bye week. What did that consist of for you?
And consisted of a lot of sleeping, a lot of resting my body, a lot of film. Obviously, this is like kind of the midway point. Obviously, there's a lot of things as a team we could improve on. So I was watching things that I could personally help what I could do better on my pass rush and all my runs and blitzes and communication. So it was a lot of that and a lot of time spending a lot of time with the dog. So it was nice.
Was Macy your dog? A golden doodle, right?
Golden doodle, baby.
Was she kind of weird? Was she kind of freaked out seeing you were at home so much last week?
I think she was used to that because of COVID. I think during the time when all the lockdowns happened back in March and April, she was like, "Dad, why are you here all the time?" And I'm like, "Duty calls."
You talked about watching film without giving up too much. What were some things that stood out to you?
I think I'm playing aggressively. Like I think I'm having heavy hands, but obviously this year they're not calling a lot of holding calls, so that's never an excuse. But holding calls are pretty down. So our coach is really harping on saying, "Hey man, when the offensive lineman and golf grabs the back of your shoulder pads, you got to be able to transition and rush." So as a team, I think we could do better at that. So we've kind of made that the emphasis the last couple of weeks.
The trading of Yannick Ngakoue to the Ravens. All eyes are on you now, rightfully so. You're the sack leader on this team right now.
And Ryan, as the pocket collapses, is swung down to the ground by Ifeadi Odenigbo. He had a sack of Russell Wilson last week, and he gets his second of the season right there.
With this, I would say, thrust on leadership role that's been thrust upon you, do you feel more pressure at all?
I think initially, just from a standpoint, like it was my first game starting, so I had a lot of things going in my head. But now as the season's been progressing, I'm gaining more confidence. I know that I belong here. It's a progression. You don't become a leader overnight. To be a leader, you first have to lead yourself. And so I think that was primarily for the first half of the season, I was leading myself. But now that I'm more and more comfortable, I'm speaking up more.
For those young guys that are looking up to you now, like what's the message?
Message is obviously just the only thing like right now, the most important thing is when you go out to practice, no one cares, and you have to improve every single day. Control what you can control. Don't listen to all the noise and just go out and improve. And if you take it one day at a time, you'll be surprised how much you can improve from week 1 to week 16.
For sure. You made a good point in your press conference earlier this week. You said these rookies aren't rookies anymore. Is that the mindset going forward?
Yeah, that's a mindset. Like, the first 3 or 4 games, you're like, okay, we didn't have a preseason. All right, but now we're halfway through this. Every single week we're going against elite receivers. So from that standpoint, you know what to expect. This is their second time playing the Packers, so you had your little freebie, but now let's match the intensity now.
How do you think the team has grown since week 1?
I think guys are just getting experience at the end of the day. You can't teach experience, So from a standpoint, at times you have to be thrown into the fire to learn. So I think that's what's going on right now, and guys are getting better and better. So obviously, the outcome hasn't always been what we wanted to, but games like Seahawks where we show that we can be that dominant team once we're all connected on the same level. But it's complementary football.
Yeah.
The D-line's got to do its job from a pass rusher standpoint to help the DBs out. The DB's got to be in tight coverage to help the D-lineman out. Then, it's just like we feed off each other.
It's a week-by-week job at this point. You just take day by day. You say it all the time, day by day, win today. Win today. And, I mean, heading into Sunday, Green Bay Packers up next. What would a win versus Green Bay at Green Bay mean to this team?
I think it would be huge from a morale and confidence standpoint, just from a standpoint, number 12, we can go blow to blow with guys like Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. So once we get this win this weekend, this will change the trajectory of our season.
Lastly, how do we get that win?
We get that win by not trying to be Superman. At the end of the day, when I'm going to get to my man, I'm worried about my gap first. I'm not going to go try to get into other people's gaps, or I'm not going to try to put myself out of position so I can try to make the play. So just don't be desperate. When you have 11 guys playing desperate, then that's when you get beat, and that's happened at times throughout the season. So
12 p.m., Lambeau Field, border battle number 121. Looking forward to it, man.
Let's go!
Appreciate you, Ifeadi.
Hey, thanks for having me.